Yo, it's your boy Meech, and I'm with my boy to my left.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? You already know it's Drew.
And to the right.
Yo, it's Nizzy.
Yo, we would like to welcome you to Black Bento episode 9. Today, we're going to be ranking another anime. It's an anime that all of us have just recently finished, I would say. I know I finished it in the past 2 days. And it's Promised Neverland. And I have to credit O'Neal and Andrew for putting me onto this. I don't know who saw it first, but it's a good watch. Everybody go watch it.
So, I don't know if you guys are Twitter heads. There was this infamous Twitter bracket going around on the internet. With all these crazy ass like rankings. And one of those like rankings on the list was that Promised Neverland was better than Attack on Titan. So that encouraged me, being a diehard Attack on Titan fan, to go watch Promised Neverland. And was I greatly surprised at how good this anime is. So here we are now, ranking it as a whole. After I seen that, I told the Bento boys to watch it. Fast forward to where we are now.
If you guys haven't watched it, I suggest you give it a watch. Quick watch, too. It's only like 12 episodes.
12 episodes, yeah. So, it came out January 2019. And what's that, winter 2019?
Yeah.
That little batch of anime?
Yeah.
So it's the true 2019 anime.
Yeah.
Word. Try to. And for those of you who don't watch it, if you want just like a general synopsis, it sort of kind of mirrors Maze Runner. I was telling Andrew that. But that's all I'm going to go into.
Guys,
that.
Obviously,
watch
spoilers. So, if you have not watched your 12 episodes yet, go watch them and then come listen to the podcast, because we're not going to hold back. It's strictly anime, though.
Yeah. Boy, spoilers galore. All right, so you guys should remember our grading criteria. Just if you don't, I'm going to read them to you really quick. Plot progression, character design, closure, animation, emotional appeal, uniqueness / creativity, and logical consistency. We rank them out of 10. We all give our individual scores, and we take the average. And then at the end, we determine whether it's a diamond, platinum, gold, silver, or bronze bento. And then if you go to Discord, if you're with us on Discord, you can rank them yourself too.
Yep, we got a little channel in our Discord server where you can rank the animes yourself, and we have a community rank to coincide with the bento rank. So, voila.
So let's get into it. First thing, plot progression.
Shit. I've never seen a show use 12 episodes more efficiently than this show. And I've watched a lot of anime. I've watched a lot. Going back in the high school days when I was watching shit I don't remember. 12 episodes were used perfectly. They introduced the initial problem at the end of the first episode, and the entire following 11 episodes was them figuring out that solution. So at this point, we're assuming you've seen the show. So the main concept is that the children live on a farm, and that they're farmed for monsters to eat them. Kind of like how humans have farms with like cows and chickens. So I know all the vegans were happy that, okay, now humans see what it's like.
But, I was thinking that though.
I know vegans must love this show.
They were like,
while they're eating their ice chips.
Yep.
Now you see why we be out here.
While they're eating their grass burgers and then leaf.
Shout out to all the vegans, yo. But so yeah, that's the premise of the show. At the end of episode 1, Emma and Norman figure out that when they leave or get sent off for adoption is really to be killed and served on a dinner plate.
Yep, and sent off as meat.
Yeah. So after they found that out, the whole narrative of the show changes. So my favorite part about that, the first episodes almost lost me. Y'all know how I am with first episodes. The audience might not know. I am terrible with first episodes. It took me literally 6 times to watch a Game of Thrones, because like the first 2 episodes are so like dragged out. But the beginning of Promised Neverland is pretty slow. And I was like, yo, what is this shit? I'm not even paying attention. But when it got to the end and we seen the girl die, I was like, all right. Now I'm...
Of course,
that's when eyebrows get raised.
It had to be death.
Up in your seat.
It had to be death to Hook O'Neal. Right.
After somebody died, I was like, whoa, slow it down. I go back.
He rewinded like 6 times.
Hey, she dead? Alright, yo,
she's not breathing.
She was dead. But the coolest thing after that is like the show transitioned into like a horror suspense anime, and they did such a good job in actually making you feel afraid, or not afraid, but like suspense and nervous for the characters. Like when they have the mom pop out of nowhere,
the way they made it, it almost looked like they were had a camera in there. No,
it felt like you was in the show.
I was like, what the hell?
It was really great.
Like people
animation,
popping around the corner, like walking slow with the camera moving. Like, yeah,
even how they flipped the faces, how the faces were drawn. Because if you don't know how anime works, they draw it and then they put it on the computer and then digitize it, whatever.
Yeah.
So like they draw in a way to make it like, you know what I mean, like exaggerated features and the eyes look sunken in. Bro, they did such a great job, bro. And it made me really reflect and actually pay attention to anime studios. So the studio for this one is Cloverworks, I believe. And in a second, I'll look up some of the other anime. But it made me think, like Demon Slayer, for instance, is done by Ufotable. They're the people who do the Fate Stay Night series. And I'm like, everyone knows that whole series is gorgeous.
Crazy
it's
animation.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And it made me think, like, imagine if certain animes you liked were at different studios. Because if Promised Neverland wasn't at Cloverworks, it wouldn't have been that great. Animation-wise. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like, the studio did such a good job that it helped it. You feel me? Same thing with Demon Slayer. If Demon Slayer was not animated the way it was, it would not have been that successful.
And that's when animation comes in for a category.
So now we have to start talking about animation studios. Because it's deeper than that. You know what I'm saying?
Cloverworks also did Fairy
Yeah,
Tail.
that's actually a good point. Now that you brought it up. Because it actually cuts straight to the chase of why we use animation as a ranking in our system.
Now we got to actually...
Attention.
Now when we watch a show, I want y'all to start looking at who's the animators and what studio in Japan is actually doing the anime. So you can say, okay...
They deserve a lot of credit, and whatever shows they start rolling out, we should start paying more attention to.
Exactly. So now when you see Fate Stay Night, you know these are the dudes who do Demon Slayer. So you know they shit heavy. And if you ain't watching the Fate Stay Night series, they are on Netflix. They're gorgeous anime.
So you guys gonna start watching Fairy Tail? Because Cloverworks did Fairy Tail too.
I'll give it a chance. I'm not interested, but
I've seen the beginning story.
After seeing how they did Promised Neverland, I'm curious. You feel me? That's the strength of your studio. After you put out quality work, it's just like a label. QC put out a quality album. You want to listen to the other artists on the label. You feel me?
Yep.
So I want the fans to listen and start looking into studios because that makes a big difference. 7 Deadly Sins, another anime we're in the midst of watching. I feel like the studio was lazy on the first season. But that's a topic for a different day. I don't know if y'all have seen the first season.
Nah, I didn't start watching it.
I
didn't start watching it yet.
Bro, the first season of 7 Deadly Sins, this is a quick sidebar, y'all. The first season of 7 Deadly Sins compared to the second season is crazy. Like, the first season is so lazy.
I would say it's lazy, but not in the aspect of animation.
Okay. But it's lazy in the sense of how of placement and like storytelling.
Yes, I'll give you placement and storytelling. I can see.
They didn't draw it lazy. They didn't draw it lazy. Yeah, it's not drawn
okay
back. It's not drawn back. Yeah. But back to Promised Neverland. So they turn into like a horror type of deal after the episode 1, and then the entire thing is just this massive buildup of suspense until the final couple episodes when they're planning their final escape. And like my favorite part is when Emma was pretending to be depressed,
and she's really
giving them plotting this whole
she's
time.
Really giving them games.
Oh, I'm sad. I can't live no more.
Bro, that was so epic, yo.
I love Emma. I'm delve in that.
And another favorite scene out of the ending of the show was when they made you think Ray died.
Yes.
And I was like, no, not this nigga.
Yo,
Ray.
that's what actually made me like Ray. That's what that
you thought he sacrificed himself.
Yeah, that made him my favorite character.
Yeah. But it's so dope how the animators cut away and cut back. You feel me? So kudos to Cloverworks for doing such a great job on like making this manga look amazing. You feel me? So shout out to them.
Yeah. So I mean, plot progression. Every episode was useful.
Facts.
You know, you found out something new every single episode. There wasn't any wasted time. No wasted episode. No wasted seconds and all that stuff. They did a great job in making people feel the emotions, like O'Neal said before, just to echo. And
another thing I want to highlight. We talk about this off camera a lot, and my thing is character usage. So you see, there's a big orphan of children, but they don't introduce all of them. They're just background characters. So they introduce maybe 4 or 5 that you actually care about. Don, Gilla, Emma, Norman, Ray. You know what I'm saying? Like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And then they have the mom, Abigail, and then they have Crone, Sister Crone.
Yep.
And my favorite thing is they introduce Sister Crone and then take her out within the same season. Mm-hmm. Like, that's something I wish Naruto...
Because they had no plan for her.
They had no use for her.
They had no plan
so
for her.
So they killed her off.
Yeah.
Which is what you're supposed to do with characters. Or write them out the show in a logical way.
Yeah.
Naruto...
Just have characters come back.
Exactly. That's one of my biggest hit on Naruto Part 1 is that they don't finish any of their characters. They just exist. You feel me? It's like you have this cast of ninjas that you don't use. And then you come back and Shippuden, oh, they're adults now. That's my knock on it.
I feel like that's for fan service, but
I don't like that. Promised Neverland, there's no character that's not used.
It's not a fan service show.
Or they don't waste characters at all. And I find that so fire. The monsters, they didn't even introduce the monsters. They just showed them. No names, no nothing. They were just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're demons.
They're just, exactly.
Or whatever you want, aliens, whatever you want to call them.
I agree.
So I love that. It's such a great, they did such a good job with 12 episodes.
Yeah. Within 12 episodes, they set the standard from the beginning. The idea was to escape because they found out that they were being threatened and that they were being shipped off as meat. At the end of the season, they escaped. Perfect. And they did it so efficiently with the way they used their time.
Do they escape?
They escaped the orphanage, which was what their intent from the beginning.
Can we talk about this prison break though? This prison break,
that
clean.
prison, yo.
Prison
as
break.
Soon as you brought up the fact that Emma pretended to be depressed for 2 months, that's what the shit that made me.
Bro, there's the soda can with the toilet paper, bro.
Oh my god!
With the shirts
when they were doing the zip line training in the field. These kids are gangsters, son.
My favorite thing, one of my favorite things about the show
gangsters.
is that like they really highlight the intelligence difference. Like the characters are smart.
Yeah.
Like, the characters are geniuses in their own right. You feel me?
That's a big thing. They tell you a big thing about this show is that the classification for meat that they use for them is dependent a big part upon the intelligence of the kids. Mm-hmm. So all these kids do is legit read books, take tests, and do a whole bunch of logical tests to make their brains just stronger because your brain is a muscle. The more you read and do work, it just gets stronger. So upon like playing and doing all these things, these kids are also like using these things and applying it to the shit that they do in order to escape. It was just, I found
it's amazing,
dope how they connected it, because they give you a thing that they do really good is that they toss you these pieces of information subliminally and show you like, okay, why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? Why are they doing that?
They're just playing tag. What the fuck?
And then at the end you see, you start connecting dot to dot to dot.
And I love how the escape was completely logical. There was no there was no shonen bullshit. You know how shonen just make shit happen?
Yeah.
You feel me? They didn't do nothing like that. Like everything was done properly. They tied the shirts together. They sent Gila over first. You feel me? Because he was the stronger one. He could tie it up.
Yep.
Everything made logical sense.
That's as logical as gonna get. What they used to escape?
Huh?
What they used to escape?
They used
shirts and
connection.
Soda.
They used a connection of cloths.
Yeah.
And blankets.
And shirts and sheets and blankets.
That's perfectly strong enough material.
Strong enough material to hang glide over?
Yeah.
Not hang glide over. What's it called? Zip line over?
Yeah.
They don't weigh as much. They're kids.
That too.
Yeah.
Bro, shirts are strong as hell, bro.
Yeah, I don't think they use shirts. I think shirts.
It was a connection of cloths and blankets. That was
I don't know.
It wasn't that. It was like tape. It was like some tape or something.
It wasn't tape. It was
maybe it was rope.
Blankets.
No,
it wasn't rope. It was
bro. It wasn't.
It was they
bro,
tied together a whole bunch of blankets in the shirt.
Nah, because they can't slide on that. There's too many knots, so they didn't use that.
I don't remember what it was exactly.
I don't.
But it wasn't. No, they used the tie. They used the
because
tie
remember,
the shirts to get up the wall. But to slide over, they didn't.
Ray
use
had rope. Remember, he got all the little secret shit.
I know. I don't know if they said rope. I know he said rope, but I think he just used that as a term to say what they had.
I don't know. I think the escape was done perfectly logically.
Yeah.
I don't think any of it was BS or stretching the truth at all. But Dimitri's doing a quick search real quick, so we could revisit that.
Yeah. But overall, as an overarching
plot progression
for
12 episodes
A to NB,
perfect.
10.
It was perfection.
Yeah, 10. I give it a 10 too.
Yeah, it was perfection. Yo, guys, really, really watch this anime and nitpick this shit. Like, this shit was done so well.
Try your best.
Bro.
Try your hardest.
This shit was done so well, bro.
I can't think of any flaw from episode 1 to 12. If you can come up with a flaw and you think it deserves to be docked, be my guest.
Let us know on the
That's
Discord.
what we ask you guys to do.
But
me?
what's next on the thing? Character design. Okay.
What?
The character
Pretty
design,
generic.
Yeah, generic. Everybody wears the same uniform, whether you're on the farm as a kid or mother. So they call or a mother. The character design for the demons is the best thing that sticks out for me.
Yeah, very creative.
For the demons, very creative. They all look different. You could tell that they're all demons. They all look different. They must have some type of relation to each other. But other than that,
I don't think there's much difference that's being told that's shown though in the anime.
I mean, they look
They're
different.
introduced.
They look different.
They're introduced. They look different. That's
what I would say. What stuck out to me was Emma's orange hair, and her being the character with the most willpower and the most. She was a Naruto. Basically.
charisma. She had the most charisma.
Yeah, she had the most life.
Bright joy.
So I loved how like her hair matched that, and then Ray was depressed and emo. He had the black hair like Sasuke. You feel me? And then Norman being pure, he had the white hair. So I really liked how the three main characters had their hair. You know what I mean? Like
I get what you're saying. Their hair matched their persona.
Yeah. So
I didn't even notice that until you brought it up.
I was nitpicking it because Emma stuck out. I'm like, why is this bitch hair orange?
With the little pointy.
Yeah, I'm like,
swizzle
but
on
as I
top.
got to know her as a character, I was like, okay, life, energy,
Yeah.
fire. You know what I mean? Like she's bright.
That's creative. I didn't.
Ray
really
was
take
depressed, sad. He had the little emo cut, black hair, and then Norman was pure and
So
intelligent.
outside of those three, which are the most important?
Yeah, everyone else
Anyway,
was pretty
everyone else
generic.
was pretty-
What do y'all think of Sister Crone? She looked like
a black girl.
the black woman.
Yeah, she looked like a black girl.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Making her look normal.
Yeah, she did. She looked normal.
She looked like a normal black woman. I wasn't offended at all.
Yeah.
So I'd say character design. They could have did more with the other kids, and with the mothers and everything. So
I say the situation
It
didn't
fits it?
acquire for them to have much diversity
Yeah,
in
yeah,
character design, but I'm not using it to boast of them.
It was wrong.
Or
They were
hinder
wrong
them
about
from
it.
character design.
yeah,
So if I'm giving them a rating for character design, for me, it's gonna cap out at like 7.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat. I'm in the 7 range as well.
honestly, I love how they added in the code on the neck, the barcodes.
Yeah.
That's dope. They could imagine if that wasn't there. You know what I mean? It makes them like, why is that there? You're questioning it the whole time till you realize they're cattle.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8. I really love how the three main characters look.
All right, yeah.
Emma's dope.
That's fine.
Ray reminds me of Sasuke.
Yeah, for sure. Emma reminds me of Naruto. It's like the same shonen,
Yeah.
the same shonen formula, but they just do it in a different way. I like how the mother is. She you know what I'm saying, like plain. They do a good job of making plain look cool. Or whatever.
Yeah. And it doesn't even matter if their characters are plain because
That's
characters
fiction.
are dynamic. The characters
Yeah.
are so dynamic that you can look by the plainness.
Exactly. Sister
Yeah.
Crone,
I
the way
didn't
Sister
care.
Crone performs, personality wise, that was crazy.
Yeah.
She was extreme. She was loud. She was athletic.
But her wit and her tactic and her strategicness blended into together with like her sadistic fucking
Yeah.
attitude just made her she was
She was a dope character.
to follow.
They introduced her as if she would be like a maid.
You wouldn't think she'd be
Subservient.
witty as she was, but
You
then
think-
when she pulled up on them and was like had these kids on the ropes, people were like, "Oh,
Playing games with them, mind games
oh,
with them, trying to overthrow mother. Like
yeah.
Sister Crone was dope,
Yeah.
yo.
Yeah.
Sister Crone was dope. I fuck with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I give it an 8, bro. They designed the characters well.
All right, yeah, it's a 7. And this is an 8. All right, cool. Next is Closure. Yo, this is actually pretty difficult. This is a difficult one because
Not for me.
it's not done.
Not for me.
Why not?
Well, yeah.
Because the achieved goal was satisfied at the end of the season.
They escaped. It was initiated in episode 1. Goal: leave the farm. Episode 12, they left.
The farm. Perfectly executed.
Closure. That's all you
Perfectly
need.
executed.
The
That's all I
only
needed to see.
gap is that Norman runs off, or Norman gets taken, and you don't know what happens.
That's fair to say that Norman gets captured.
But that's a part of it. That's a part of the season
To
2.
the understanding of what we know of what happened to Norman or what we think happened to Norman is that he's out of the story at this point in time.
Yeah, you're right. I don't have no picks on the Closure.
Yo, mine is beyond this because we've been looking at Closure as in the questions that that are visibly presented to us, and if they're solid.
So you made your own. You made your own
So
question.
this is my own question is.
Okay.
They think they escaped. I don't think they escaped.
That's a hypothesis.
I don't think they escaped. So
agree
I
with
think
you.
there's something beyond there that they're about to run into that they don't even know.
Cool.
Okay.
You gotta watch season 2.
Yeah, so
You gotta watch season 2.
Yeah.
Season 2 drop next season.
yeah. So I mean, that's why I hit the closure on. But I can't really knock them for that.
It's nothing to knock them about.
It's nothing to knock about it. They did their job. That's what they're supposed to do.
Exactly. Yeah, they ended it with a cliffhanger. Now you got all these questions. Now you want to watch the next season.
Yep.
Perfect job.
Yeah, so I mean, if I'll probably go with Andrew's definition of closure. Yeah, like I'm pretty satisfied for
Me being nitpicky as fuck, I couldn't. There's nothing in the show. I was like, what the fuck? No loophole. No, none of that. It was perfect.
Yeah, I'm satisfied for that. Is exactly how I see a first season playing out.
I wish more 4 seasons were like this. But 12 episodes? Could you imagine if they had 24?
That is precisely how I see it. Like if a season is to start with a goal, end with a goal, and then leave you questioning, but then and anticipating another season is coming to fulfill those questions.
That's intentional. And Andrew, this made me think of the famous Jay-Z line, less is more. Because they had 12 episodes, bro. Animes out here getting 24.
And still not doing that.
26.
And still not doing it.
Not doing nothing like that. This shit had 12, bro.
Having kids running around.
12 episodes.
Have characters just sitting there babbling about
Think of your favorite anime's first season. If they had 12 episodes, would they have done a good job? Probably not.
But
I mean, I think it depends. I think it depends on
certain
art.
anime and certain shows are put out to fulfill a certain type of entertainment.
No, but I think the crazy thing is you're giving your episode count first, not your content. You feel me? It's not like they said, okay, we have this much content, we need 12 episodes. Nah, nigga said you got 12, nigga, make it work. They was like, alright, you feel me? That's much more impressive.
I mean, I think it depends on art because there's been animes who started off with 12 episodes and next season they had 24.
Yeah,
and vice versa.
I don't know how it works.
So I don't know how it works.
I would assume by volume of manga that they already have produced and how they decide to maybe break it up according to. I don't know.
It depends on how many arcs they want to fit in a season.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not questioning that, nor do I have the answer to that.
But if somebody were to say, if given 12 episodes, this is all you have to work with.
Would this anime be what it is?
There'd be a lot of anime that would fall to that.
Facts.
Yeah.
For sure. Because I think Demon Slayer had 26. That's craziness. That's a lot for the first season. Most shows get 12. Most shows get 24.
That's a lot now. That's a lot now.
Yeah, if you compare it to
what
right
we
now.
perceive to as a lot now, especially for this generation of people consuming anime. But back then, that was like a norm. Like getting 26 for a norm for a popular show. You know what I mean? These long-winded.
So maybe it's based on popularity because Demon Slayer is already popular as fuck. So maybe it's like, yo, you got 26, do what you do. But that's another that's another day.
But
overall for closure, 10s across the board.
Yeah.
10. I'm giving it a 10. No
I
doubt.
give it a 10.
Yo, we might get our first Diamond Bento, baby.
Oh man, you'd be surprised. Yeah, I'll be surprised if this shit happens.
This might be the first Diamond Bento. Let me see. Do we got a diamond already?
Nah.
What's Avatar? Avatar's
Platinum.
Wow.
I believe.
Let me see. I'm checking the Discord now.
All right. Well, in the meantime, we have animation.
Did we just talk about this?
I think we did.
Avatar got Diamond Bento.
Yeah, I do.
got
Avatar
Diamond?
definitely got Diamond.
It deserved that. It deserved that. Facts.
All right, so this will be number 2. It's cool.
Animation. Okay, so I got excited and touched on this in plot progression, but I'm really impressed with how they made it like a horror movie. The way they used the camera angles, the cut from character faces, surprise you, had characters hiding, and they flipped to them. You feel me? That was very impressive.
I think that we not really as a fault to us that we can't really delve that deep into animation, but just as a viewer perspective, I think that a good place to start with animation is purpose and what it's intended to do. And for this, I feel like that the purpose of the way they did the animation in this show was to give you suspense and horror. And I think that the way they used the animation to give you that sense of suspense and horror, they did phenomenally.
And the way they drew the faces, I love how they did the faces.
Yes,
The caricatures
that they used to give you that sense of like twisted and Wicked and like
yo,
plotting.
when Emma was in the hallway and Mama popped up on her ass.
Yes, bro.
I was shook. I was
those are the scenes that you get from the show that just make your jaw and like your heart just drop.
You
like
into the show.
Like you're scared for these kids. You're like, oh shit, they just ran up on them.
So it's fire, bro.
And I think the animation, it really speaks to the benefit of having a more humanistic, well-grounded anime where you don't have to worry about Razengans and Chidoris and Kamehamehas and Spirit Bombs.
It did what other shows do depending on flashiness. It didn't need the spectacle.
Exactly.
The show has no spectacle at all. Yeah. It's strictly just humans. You feel me?
Yes.
And they still get you.
Yes. So without relying on
spectacle,
action and fighting scenes and all this, like you said, spectacles of doing all these techniques and crazy action
scenes.
Yeah, action scenes. They didn't need any of that. They just did a perfect job of getting you in like character and in like the scene with these kids.
Immersed.
Like you're really like, yo,
immersive.
This kid's about to get caught. Like, what's going on? Like,
this show is immersive.
Yeah,
that's the word for it.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? A lot of times people talk about their top fives. Oh, this It's strictly spectacle they're thinking about. It's all spectacle. It's never storytelling. Like this show's storytelling is unmatched. For a lot of shows, not everything. For a lot of shows, not everything. Yeah. Storytelling is unmatched for a lot of shows. I think another show that does both is Attack on Titan.
Right.
Animation, phenomenal. Action scenes is up there, but the storytelling in Attack on Titan is that good. You feel me? That's why I feel like that's one of the best shows ever. But it's like it's crazy to see a show with no action at all. I was impressed. You feel me?
Right.
So what was that?
Animation.
That was animation. I'm giving it a 10.
I'm giving it
a 10 for me.
I mean, you can only knock it based on your preference. If you like the flashiness, then you're not gonna like it. You know what I mean?
I hate that though. I hate when people on Twitter be running their mouth because shows don't have spectacle. They think it's bad, bro. That's not everything. That's not.
I think that's just like I said. I think a lot of it has to do with purpose and intent.
Yeah.
You can have flashiness if your purpose and intent is to make that scene pop and exaggerate. That is a perfectly good scenario upon which you would want flashiness.
An example
to make that scene be more intensive.
An example to me, y'all could tell me if I'm wrong, of unnecessary flashiness is like Black Clover. Black Clover does a lot of scenes.
I agree 100%.
Where they go over the top, laser beams,
110%.
Demons popping, wings popping out of characters, all this shit.
It does nothing to reel me in. It does nothing to reel me in. It's
literally like so they could, all right, this is flashy as fuck.
Right, yeah. I agree 110%.
I feel like the way they use flashiness, for the most part, is almost like a smokescreen.
You have to cover up the fact that the story is not much.
Yeah, like they literally just say, all right, demon wing, all right, laser beam.
You see, you feel me?
Zipping through the sky, like that don't do it for a whole entire package. The flashiness will only hold your attention for so long until you realize.
And when it's not even good flashiness, you see through that shit. Like Black Clover, I see right through that shit, bro.
Of course, all that flying around, mountains getting
laser
destroyed,
beams, camera flicking around,
flying in the sky and shit like that. Like,
come on, what are you doing, bro?
Come on now.
Yeah, I feel like they do it a little sloppy, but.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 10 on animation. I can't knock it for anything, so I guess I gotta give it a 10.
I can't think of anything to knock it.
They gonna say Nizzy getting soft, yo.
I mean, look,
that's the burden you're gonna have to live with, dog.
This is a 10, bro. I'm not lying. I'm not capping on this show. This show is the best 12 episodes I've seen in a while.
Sorry.
That's a 10 in animation, easy money. What's next?
Next, we have emotion. Come on, do we really gotta speak on this, man?
Emotional appeal. Yo, Andrew, you gotta knock it on this one, my nigga.
Wait. What we
emotional appeal.
Emotional appeal.
Come on, dog. Come on now. We can get through this in like 30 seconds.
The only. Facts. I wasn't attached to a lot of the kids.
Whoa.
Hey, yeah, I agree. I wasn't attached.
I wasn't attached to a lot of the kids. The only kids who I was really attached to was the one of the youngest.
Phil?
I was always Phil. My guy, Phil.
Phil is that nigga, bro.
Yo, Phil is what was he, 5?
Bro, 5.
He was the realest fucking 5-year-old you'll ever meet in your
anime
life.
history.
In anime history.
Ranker needs to make a list of top 5-year-olds. Phil is the only nigga up there.
Yo, the only nigga who's not even fuck that. Gohan might match him, but he not gonna be the same level as Phil. I don't care. Phil is the gangster ass, and he knew what it was.
Wait, he might match him, but he's not gonna be the same level.
Nah.
What?
Imagine like come close,
alright,
but not gonna hit that mark. Cause Phil is a gangster ass nigga, bro. Phil knew what the deal was. He knew what world he was living in. He knew what time it was.
He cried for a solid 2 seconds.
He said, "Know what? Y'all could leave me. I'll be alright."
Fake ass intellects.
He cried for like 2 seconds.
And he
Sucked
wiped
it up
his
real
eyes,
quick.
sniffled, got that shit right out his system and said, "Know what? Leave me. I'll be alright.
I'm gonna hold it down.
I'll hold down the fort. You do what you need to do." My nigga Phil is a
Facts.
G, bro.
Facts.
Nah, know it.
Facts.
Alright, so I got attached to Phil and obviously the main three. And a little bit of
Gilda?
Crone?
Crohn's sister.
Crone? A little bit of Crone.
So
Man.
let's expand our definition of emotional appeal, because right now to me it sounded like your connection to the characters.
Alright, yeah.
But what about
that's
my
another point.
definition? Excuse me, I didn't mean to cut you off. Emotional appeal is how I think the characters feel in that situation.
Exactly
Yeah, that's what I think when I go. That's how I judge emotional appeal.
that, and also how we feel about the characters.
Yeah.
So we just spoke about how we felt about the characters. What about how the characters felt? Did you feel the emotions of the characters?
Bro, when Emma was depressed, I was depressed, bro. I was depressed, bro.
I put on a
Yo,
whole.
when Norman went away and I saw Emma just sit there like crying, and Norman was trying to spit game to her, she's like,
Yo, all right. So what?
Bro,
yep.
Bro, what do you think was the moment that made the characters the most emotional? Like the most emotional moment in the show?
Norman getting sent off.
when
You
Norman
think so?
was leaving,
I don't think it's that one.
When Norman, like, I'm waiting for your answer. When
Alright.
Norman was leaving and Emma dived on Norman and tried to pass him the fucking shit, bro, I was like, yes. That was one of my moments. That was one of my moments. But one of my favorite ones is when fucking Emma and Ray are talking at the final night, and Ray was like, "You ain't give up, did you?" Emma was like, Emma looked up like, "My nigga." I was like, wait, what? What's going on? All I could picture was the Denzel meme where he's like, "My nigga."
Ray was like, "You didn't give up, nigga. What?
Give up. What was your moment? Oh, I'm interested now.
I think that the most emotional moment in the show was when Emma and Norman found out that they were actually getting killed instead of getting adopted.
Yeah.
Like
When she screamed in the field,
yo, that's when
I felt
reality
that, sis.
set in. That's
I
when
felt
reality
that,
set
sis.
in. Yes,
Facts.
because these people are like, yo, why they ain't writing no letters to us, man? How come we don't know what's going on with them? Yo, and they think that they're just having a good life out there. Then you find out you getting killed.
Bro, they hinted this shit so well, bro. When she said, "Why we not getting no letters?" That made me stop. I didn't guess what happened. I was one of the few oblivious dudes. These two dudes guessed that they were getting eaten. I had no idea because I was halfway not paying attention. But like when she said we weren't getting letters, I was like, "Y'all not wait, why? What? Wait, whoa! Y'all ain't getting no letters, huh?" That's interesting. That's an interesting line.
You have fucking adoptions happening and nobody's coming to the house.
No
you
one
gotta
didn't.
escort somebody and like
no
like,
visits,
yo,
no
it's
what?
No outside visitors, no social services.
Like, that's a little bit of strange, right there.
Like, come on, now.
Yeah.
But what's another emotion? I like this topic. What's another emotional moment? Because that was dope. I like that moment you brought up. To me, another one I like was when Emma got pressed in the hallway and she had to fake it. She was like, I don't know, we good, ma. I don't know nothing. And then she got down the stairs. She was like,
Yo, when she went down the stairs and basically, she almost croaked. No, she said,
Yo.
"Oh my god!"
the amount of pressure on her chest when she got pressed and the way they animated it. Yo, this anime
Yo, that
fire.
pressure was. I
another one?
felt that, bro. I felt every ounce of that. I was like, yo.
Bitch. I was in the crowd like, bitch.
Don't you fall.
Norman around the corner like, man.
Norman was like, God damn, yo, you good?
Yo, another moment is when they were at the wall and Mother snapped Emma's leg. She broke her leg.
Oh
Man.
my god.
Yo, you're like, yeah, you can't go anywhere. She was like, you're not
about
going
that.
anywhere. That you can't go.
Nah,
She broke her leg
fucked
straight up.
for that.
Everybody
Mother
was just
fucked
like-
up for that. She said,
Isabella, she did what she had to do. I
She
guess.
a bad
Like,
bitch.
Yeah, she bad. She a bad
Bad
girl.
bitch,
Yeah,
yo.
she bad. Damn, yeah, I'm giving
One of my favorites. This y'all will appreciate this line and when you read the manga. So me and Andrew are caught up in the manga. This is not a
"Yeah,
spoiler.
we're not gonna spoil. We're not."
It's not a spoiler, but me and Andrew are caught up in the manga, and trust me, it gets 100 times better. Really worth the read. But when Sister Crone gets murked, she whispers, "You kids better change the world." I lost my shit. I was like, no. that line don't mean nothing now because y'all don't read the manga. When you see what's happening, Sister Crone is equivalent of the rat from Avengers. When the rat
not even. The Sister Crone saying that is almost in the equivalent of to your left. You remember?
Remember when on your left?
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
That is the equivalent. When I want you for all of you guys who are gonna go out and watch this after this episode, I want you to remember that Sister Crone said that because her saying that if there's any Marvel watchers out there is the equivalent of Falcon saying on your left to Cap. That's all I got to say.
That shit was fire. That shit was so fire.
Yeah.
Yo, you gotta read the manga, bro. You gotta read that shit.
Yes, please. All you manga heads out here who are listening to
read that manga.
Please, read.
And let us know. Jump in the Discord.
Hop in that motherfucker.
Talk about it.
Because I know you're gonna want to. I know you're gonna want to talk to somebody.
I'm starting to read more manga now, and I'm getting mad. I don't got nobody to talk to about the shit. Like I'm caught up in Demon Slayer. I'm caught up in Promise. Like it's crazy. But anyway, what topic was that? That was emotional appeal?
I'm assuming everybody wants a 10.
Yeah.
You're getting a 10 out of me.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to cap.
Damn, this gets
all right. So next, we got uniqueness and creativity.
Okay.
I mean, as far as uniqueness, like I said, I only know one other piece of work like this. And I said Maze Runner.
You know,
that's it.
For me, this is my first time watching a show with kids as the main cast. And when I say kids, I mean 10 and below. Like 12 and below. Because someone's like Naruto's technically a
But
kid.
they have adults in Naruto. So
you know what I mean? Like this show's about children. Like 12 and down. So I was like, at first I was skeptical. But by the end, I was so impressed with how they used them.
Yeah.
And how they still kept a sense of childness to them. Like, they didn't turn them into robot. You know what I mean? Mm. Like, when they were trying to escape on the wall, some of the kids were scared. That's realistic. Yep. You feel me? And then the boys were like, nah, you go. I'm gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were challenging each other like young boys would do. You feel me? So, like, they did a good job with executing the children thing. The second thing that really impressed me, I don't know if it impressed y'all, was the fact that they were actually food. Mm. I didn't see that coming at all, as I mentioned before. And to me, it blew up my whole perception of everything. I'm like, okay, so what are the monsters doing? Like, do they live in a monster world? Like, what's going on? You feel me? So I was already impressed by the creativity there. I don't know. I got no knocks in terms of uniqueness.
Yeah, uniqueness, creativity. I would just like spend on I like the mystique of the world.
Yeah,
like I said,
exactly. Mystique
of the world and all that stuff. So like, it was cool when they found out that demons.
Hold on. Say that word again.
All right, leave me alone. like
that mystique, y'all, it's real. Best believe that mystique and alert gets you every time. That's a hook. I guarantee it.
Are you done?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
You finished or you done?
I'm straight, man. I said my piece.
Go ahead.
All right, so
now mystique important. So.
How when you first start watching it, they find out that demons are eating these kids. You're like, oh shit! All right, demons are taking over the world. But then you find out, like an episode or maybe a few minutes later, that there are actually humans on the outside world that are actually working with the demons. They to suppress these kids. So now it gets you thinking, like, yo, like, what's so special about these kids that they're the fodder? And other humans out there helping the demons.
You got you like, what the fuck is going on now?
Yeah, like the fuck, like good.
Very creative. I don't see any of it that's been taken from other shows except for the shonen formula with the 3 characters. That's probably the only. Yeah, that's a shonen though. You know what I mean? But other than that, I don't see nothing that's like, oh, I've seen this before. This is not original. Most of it was original for me. I haven't seen another anime do this.
Kids with genius intellect.
What show does that?
Naruto, kid has genius intellect.
Shikamaru
has.
But this is a cast of geniuses.
I mean, just 3.
Okay. What the purpose for why they're
actually, technically, there's 2.
Why they're smart.
Technically, there's 2.
I'm only giving it to Norman.
Norman and Ray.
I'm only giving it to Norman. Ray is.
There's 3.
There's 2.
There's 3.
No, there's.
It's just okay.
It's 2.
In the show, they considered all 3 of them geniuses. But if I'm separating them, I'm only giving it to Norman because Norman's
just a super genius, but
he's the fusion of the other 2, essentially. He can think outside the box and loosen up like Emma, but he gets also methodical like Norman, like Ray. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So I think that the funny thing that they did was that the 3 characters, you have Emma who's outgoing and intelligent, and like extrovert, and then you have Ray, who's introvert, but he's also a genius in a different way. And Norman's the combination.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
So I'm only giving it to Norman.
I'll expand it to Norman and Ray because they said Norman's a genius, and Ray can keep par, and they legit said that only reason that Emma can keep up with them is because of her physical abilities. For some reason, which I don't understand. Like I don't know if she reads a book, maybe she can memorize it. And I guess no information as much as them, but as far as natural born geniuses, it's Norman.
In terms of
Ray.
I think in terms of pure intelligence.
Yeah, I'll give it Norman and
intellect.
Ray. Ray and
Norman and Ray. But overall,
I think you're taking into account her what's the word for it?
Her what?
It's not overzealous. It's like being
that's physical.
It's not that she's not critical. It's just that she has
she thinks
a tendency to just not oversee logic because she wants.
Yeah.
No, I'm not holding that against her. I'm just doing off of facts. Like when you get down to it,
according to the show,
it's just
Norman and Ray are the genius.
That's it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't give it to Ray.
I'd give it
because I'm not looking at genius as a pure intelligence thing. I'm looking at it as an overall package.
I'm thinking an overall package too. I mean, like if Ray wasn't there,
strategies.
Norman will still escape.
All that.
Norman will still escape without Ray.
If Ray wasn't there,
if Norman's not there, Ray and Emma are not escaping.
I agree.
If Ray is not there, Norman is escaping.
Regardless.
No,
Norman can escape
the manga, so we know.
No, but it's not even that. Within the realm of the 12 episodes, Norman could escape by himself. He could have left.
Bro, he figured out the perimeter. He figured out the angle
he
the
figured.
bridge was at.
They didn't even use the shit Ray made to break.
They didn't use it.
They just cut the air off.
But Ray was still feeding them information nonetheless.
So you think Norman would have concocted the plan to move across without using the bridge at all?
Ray would have concocted. You mean?
I'm saying without Ray, if Norman was taking out the equation, they're not going anywhere. If Ray was taking out the equation, they're still not going anywhere.
No, they're escaping without Ray.
They're
escaping without Ray. Easy money.
They can't escape without Ray.
I think Emma's more critical.
Emma is probably more capable.
Emma's more critical in their escape than Ray. Ray gave up. Remember, that was his biggest flaw. He gave up after he signed the challenge.
Ray legit said he was
about to kill himself and blow up the whole school.
Yes, because he felt guilty.
But like the point of what I'm saying, his overall character wouldn't have had the heart to escape without.
But at the end of the day, Emma didn't even concoct the plan.
I know.
So she's not even.
Norman's
Ray and Norman contributed to each other.
Norman is essential.
Emma
and Ray.
Norman is essential. I agree.
I'm thinking if you could pick which one,
I'm picking Emma.
I'm not taking Ray.
Norman or
Ray. You don't need Ray.
Yes, you do. You need Ray. You cannot get.
You need Emma, bro. She's the most creative one. She's the reason.
Yo, Ray kept these people alive. What are we talking about?
Norman talked to Emma and was like, "You're gonna do this." He didn't say Ray.
Because
this is you. This is
Ray
Emma.
kept these niggas alive. The only reason they weren't put out in the farm already because Ray kept them alive. What are we talking about here?
He made that tactical.
So without Ray, these niggas ain't going anywhere. These aren't going anywhere.
We can just disagree on that.
Alright,
we can disagree on that. But I'm taking, if I had to pick two,
taking Emma.
I'm picking Norman and Ray.
And
Emma.
Alright, let's put it this way. Because we had conversations about this in real life, and we hate putting in real life situations, bro. We have niggas that need to do what needs to be done at the end of the day. So if it's an apocalyptic world, bro, and there's 30 of us in the room right now, and there's an old lady and all that shit, we gotta come up a mountain, bro. We can't afford to bring the old lady, bro. We leaving her behind. Emma's the type to be like, yo, I'm not going unless everybody comes. Like, all right, Emma.
And that worked to their benefit because they needed all the children to make it across.
They didn't really need all the children. They really didn't need all the children.
Don't do this.
Yo, Norman legit said that, yo, we can make it out here without the kids.
Bro.
But she was like, I'm not leaving my family.
You know that, right?
Not
everybody was bought.
My point exactly with Emma's character, because her plan was
to
bring everybody.
This is why.
But Ray told her from the jump, we cannot take everybody. And what happened? They couldn't take everybody. That's exactly the point.
She still took more people than Ray was planning. Ray was literally thinking just them three.
That's perfectly fine.
And that wouldn't have worked.
And Emma was talking about, we're going to take all 37 of these niggas.
And that
can't take all 37 of these niggas.
The crazy part about Emma is that she used that to her advantage. She used the fact that she was taking all these people with her and gave everybody a purpose and a role in coming in that.
But she didn't take everybody she wanted to with her, Drew.
She didn't
Okay,
take the
so
whole
they
cast.
they compromised.
Exactly.
Ray was gonna bring nobody, and Emma brought some of them. They met in the middle.
No, they did. No,
Yes, they did.
No,
that's
no.
exactly what happened.
Ray said he wanted to bring
was
three
like, we're
people.
not.
No,
It's
Ray,
impossible.
Ray
That's
is
what
being
Ray said.
realistic. In a situation like that, we're only gonna bring our boys. We got no time to worry about anybody else.
And look what
I don't
happened.
fuck with
And
any
look
of them.
what happened.
I don't fuck with
And
any
look
of them.
at the end result.
Ray was about to kill himself and burn down the building.
For his boys.
That was his solution.
For his boys. He was depressed that his best friend Norman got killed.
And then Emma had to be like, whoa, Nick, what are you doing?
Yo.
We're all gonna make it.
Bro,
they all didn't make it though, bro.
okay, you're right. But
Like I said,
at the end of the day, Ray wasn't right.
But
either.
I'm saying, and put in a similar situation, and if it's us three, we can make it. Us three is going. I'm not rescuing anybody else. I'm not rescuing anybody else.
Okay,
and if
bro.
you guys tell me that you're gonna rescue everybody else in the orphanage, I'm not fucking with y'all, dog. I'm not fucking with y'all. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all.
So skate by yourself then.
No, I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
That's it.
Skate by
I'm
yourself.
not gonna
then.
lie. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. That's
All right.
it's realistic in that situation. You're gonna save everybody.
Not everybody, nigga. Some, nigga.
The people that need to go will go if I want to save them.
Yo, if we're being realistic,
exactly what- I mean,
if we're being realistic, the only people that need to go are Ray, Gilda, the dark skinned dude. What's his name? I forgot his name.
That's Gilda.
No,
Don.
Emma, and Norman. If he was still around, those are the only people that need to go. All the other people, the people who
Emma-
were scared that they were scared to zip line
Emma-
across the cliff, they don't need to be.
Emma said
they're there because Emma wanted them
that
there.
need to go and I want to go. We're making it
She
out.
made it happen.
She didn't say they
She
need
made
to
it
go.
happen.
No, she didn't
It's
say
a-
that.
bro,
No,
it's
she
all
didn't say-
good, bro.
She said the only reason she took the people that she took was because they
wanted them.
no, because they were going to get harvested, and the other people
So she
were the other
wanted
kids
to bring
weren't
them.
of age yet, so they were going to get harvested.
No,
so they could
she-
afford to stay there.
She wanted.
And
to,
she said she would come back.
She wanted
for
to
them.
bring everybody,
But
but
she
she bought who was
because it wasn't
realistic.
strategically
Yeah, exactly.
right.
So
to make
that's the
that
end of the
everybody.
argument.
Strategically,
They're
like
done,
what?
done.
Strategic in what?
That it was beneficial to bring.
It's not beneficial to bring them. She just didn't want them to die. That's why
Exactly.
she brought them. That's the only reason. That's not strategic. That's just her having a heart.
Okay.
And I can't afford a heart in this situation.
All right,
like,
bro. Okay, Darth Vader. Okay, bro. We
Somebody
get
needs
you.
to make the cold hard choices in critical
Okay,
situations,
okay.
and Emma's not the one to do that. That's why I don't. That's
You don't
why
like Emma, bro.
Just say that.
You don't like Emma, bro.
I'm not really a fan of Emma like that. I'm really not. I'm not. I admit it. I'm not really a fan of Emma like
The
that.
Sith Lord.
I don't like her logic in critical situations because that's just gonna hinder somebody at some point in time.
So read the manga and see what happens.
And,
That's
Read
all
the
I
manga
gotta
and see
say.
what
That's all I
happens.
gotta say.
Yo,
on that.
and
That's
this
all I got to say
and
on
if this
that.
all for one attitude, I mean, this one for all attitude.
Nigga, she's basically Deku.
Doesn't get her. No, she's not Deku.
Oh, go on. Now niggas don't want to talk
Nah,
that
nah,
talk.
she's not
Niggas not
Deku.
ready-
She's
Niggas
not
not ready for that
Deku.
conversation.
She's
Niggas
not
ready for that
Deku. She's not
conversation.
Deku.
What is Deku's power?
thinking-
All for one.
She's not. No, she's not Deku.
What the
She's
fuck
not
is Deku? The
Yo,
core
his
principle
power
of
is
Deku.
called Offer One, but everybody's not hand
He
punching.
said
All
everyone
All
was.
right. Next topic.
Yeah, no, that's
Deku
but
fans not ready for
whatever.
this conversation.
Whatever, but I don't fuck with Emma.
What was next?
Wait, we didn't even rate this yet, bro. We didn't rate this.
Emotional appeal. What we was on?
Yet. No, we was
no,
on
no.
uniqueness and creativity.
Damn.
Hold on. Before we go on, I'll give my little brief snippet.
Nah, fuck your brief snippet.
We done. Uniqueness and creativity. I think me and Meech are the only ones that seen this, but the only thing from keeping this perfect is I've seen not exact carbon copy, of course, but a similar anime called Seraph of the End. If you guys haven't watched it,
Yes.
there's a show where adults die off because of a strange disease, and kids are left in this world of vampires. And these vampires are harvesting these kids for blood and keeping them alive. And then when they find that out, they intend to escape
from the cave.
And that is exactly what happens. They escape and they're off to the outside world where they meet off with other humans and fight demons. So that is my take on why it's not getting a perfect time.
So what about if you're talking about animes that people just have to escape? What about Gurren Lagann? Don't they have to escape in Gurren Lagann? I don't know. I haven't watched it.
Gurren Lagann, yes and no. Yes and no. They do have to escape from an underground world, but it's not like the people that are oppressing them are oppressing them to harm them. They're oppressing them to protect them. So it's kind of a different dynamic. In this, the people who are oppressing them have the intention of eating them.
Okay.
So that's like the big difference. But
Okay.
that would be my only knock.
So
against it.
maybe little do we know, there's multiple manga out here with this same concept
Could be.
of humans being harvested.
I just
I mean, it's
watched
kind of
it.
similar to Attack on Titan. It's not an intentional harvest.
They do want to get out the
They
wall.
do want to
Yeah.
get out,
From
and they're
the walls,
trapped
yeah.
by the predators. So this concept's been seen in manga before.
Yeah.
But to my knowledge, to me, it was new, and I don't knock it for anything. I'll give it a 9.
Nah, I'm gonna give it an 8. for you,
Same.
Mr. Creativity. 8 too.
Yeah.
And so then we have the
You
last.
can change me to an 8. I'll give it. I'll
you
agree
want
with
me
y'all.
to?
I agree with y'all. 9 is not really nothing out
Alright.
of this world.
That's straight. So the last one we have is logical consistency. I mean, look, I have no problems with logic in the show.
At all. No loopholes. Nothing that was stretching the truth.
Kids try to escape, demons eating them, niggas die when they need to.
They study every day. They're super intelligent. I mean, everything adds up.
Yeah, they have kids. They have like one that's really smart, one that's pretty athletic, and has a relatively decent intellect. And then yeah, like yeah.
And then they got the emo kid, little Sasuke reference.
So I mean, can't really knock it up there. They've been pretty
Yeah, they was consistent the whole way.
the whole exact way.
Andrew, any gripes, complaints, knocks on logic?
If you have to do that, that's a no. Don't waste your
I'm
time,
just
man.
trying to think, man.
No, you don't gotta think. I'm giving this a 10. I'm gonna say it right now, I'm giving it a 10. Logical consistency. You're
I can't come up with any
so I'm assuming that's a 10.
logical flaws. Yeah.
That's a 10.
I'm giving it a 10.
10. Ain't
Big
that a
fan.
character? Anyway.
10.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
yeah,
Naruto, yeah, she trash.
You said who's favorite character?
Yours, isn't it?
All right. Well,
That's the right answer.
we just hit the 51 minute mark. We got through this pretty quickly, obviously, because the show was pretty damn good. Wasn't much to debate here.
Nah.
Any highlights y'all want to throw in before we wrap this up, boys? Mentions?
Not that come off the top of the head. Other than, please, guys, if there's any anime, manga you guys want to watch or binge, this show is the show to do it, and this manga is the manga to read. It's a very impressive read, and it's a very extraordinarily impressive watch. I'm drooling for this next season to come out. I love this show. So please, if there's any other show that you have that you think gives you this type of angst and anxiety to watch, please let us know. We want to give shows like this our watch and see what happens and see if we can critique that too and give you guys our take, our bento fresh take on how we like the show and have you guys discuss and go about talking about this topic.
Word. I'm trying to brainstorm if there's any. This is one thing I really thought was super freaking dope that I can't really speak on very much now that I'm thinking about it. But there's a scene in the library where the kids are looking through the books, and the book one of the books had like an owl. I know I love owls, obviously, and the owl had a Morse code pattern around it. So one of the kids, obviously them having super high intellect and reading all day, could read Morse code. And some of the books were like telling them like secrets through Morse code.
They were like, what the fuck?
And they was like, what the fuck is this shit? Obviously, all of us was thinking the same thing. I'm like, what the fuck? It made me want to learn Morse code. I'm like, niggas hiding secrets around me, huh? But
It's like the little details.
that was such a neat fucking hint
the little
to what
details
happens
that
later
they
in the
drop.
show, boy.
Oh my
Yo,
God.
telling y'all, if
It
y'all
had,
watch
it
this
had
shit,
help written all over it.
y'all nigga, yo, read the manga. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it only gets better.
And
By far.
yeah, so that's one thing I wanted to hint at. And the next thing, the cover art, if you watch this on Crunchyroll or anything, we just peeped this. The character's actually standing on the plate, which we thought was pretty funny.
With the knife.
It's a plate and a clock, which is actually pretty dope too because they have a certain amount of time before they get eaten.
We're referring to the cover art of the anime. So if you go on your respective app, Crunchyroll or whatever you watch it, the picture that's there, look at what they're standing on. It's a clean hint. From the very beginning, they hint that these people are food, and no one peeped it. It's crazy.
The knife and fork as the arms of the clock.
Time is ticking. But what's the overall score, boy?
Okay, so for the
We all know what
overall
this shit
score of this, we got obviously a diamond with a score of 9.2. So you heard it first, ladies and gentlemen. We got this show ranked as a diamond bento with a score of 9.2. Hot and fresh and ready to eat. Go watch.
Facts. Easy money. I'm very proud of this watch.
Yeah,
I'm
I am
because
too.
the only reason I watch it because they came from Attack on Titan, and I'm happy that whoever did this was actually using some freaking logic. It wasn't some bullshit. So yeah, and obviously this is the end of the episode. Check out our Discord. You can talk to us there. Follow us on all social media _Black Bento, and I'll catch you in the next episode.
Yep, Bento boys out.
Deuces.